Hi there. Let's take a look at a quick and easy way to true a dart roof in Affinity Designer 2. On paper, we would fold out the dart, revise the side seam if needed, and then cut along the side seam to create the perfectly true dart roof. In Affinity Designer, I'm going to start by drawing a line between the dart legs. Then I'm going to draw another line from the bust apex that goes through the middle of the dart. I'm then going to make sure that my dart point aligns perfectly with the second line. For great fit, we always want our darts to point to the bust apex. The next thing that I'm going to do is to fold out the dart, so to speak. So I'll cut off a piece of the pattern, making sure to cut through the dart point and into the armhole. I select this piece and then I drag the transform origin to the dart point, and then I rotate the section to close the dart. Once I've closed the dart, I draw a line that goes from the dart point along the bottom leg of the dart, and I make sure that this aligns perfectly with the bottom of the dart. Now I'm going to redraw the side seam because it's no longer straight, as you can see. This happens sometimes, especially when you're moving darts around or you're making a full or a small bust adjustment, so we always need to check this. So I draw a line from the underarm point to the waist point. Then I can select the pattern pieces and drag out the nodes to make sure that they meet up with the true side seam. The side seam will now be completely straight after I've sewn the dart closed, so it will go together neatly with the bodice back and there will be no puckers at the dart. Now I'm going to merge the pieces that I previously cut apart, and I do that by selecting both and saying Geometry Add. Now I'm just going to delete these unnecessary lines, and then what I'm going to do is to draw another line from the underarm point, which exactly follows the new side seam above the dart, and I make sure that it is perfectly lined up with the new side seam. I then extend the line that goes from the apex so that it intersects the new side seam line. Now I'm going to draw the dart volume, and I'll do this with a rectangle. I'm going to give it another color just so that I can see what I'm doing, and I'll say Layer, Convert to Curves. Then I'm going to reshape this rectangle so that the nodes of the pattern exactly meet the points that I've just created with a series of lines that I drew. And there we go. This is the new dart volume. I'll just remove the fill so that the lines are all visible, and I'll resize the center line of the dart. Of course, I can now make a duplicate of the dart volume and merge it with the bodice front so that I can easily add seam allowances to a single pattern piece. And there I have a side seam that will be perfectly straight once the dart has been sewn closed, and a true dart roof that will sew beautifully into the side seam without any puckering. Then, of course, I won't forget to check the length of the new side seam against the length of the back side seam, just in case it has changed slightly. And that's how to quickly true a dart roof in Affinity Designer 2.